Show.
Hi guys, welcome to the 5th episode of the LOV Show podcast with Elliot, Liam, Justin, and our special guest today, the legend himself, Adam Saaks.
I guess. I don't know if it's hi out there, world.
It's hi there,
audience.
it's hi there.
Hi, my friends.
So Ben can join us today. He had a heavy weekend.
Oh, he's coming?
He's coming, is he?
Coming.
He was super hungover today. It was his birthday on the weekend.
Right.
We were all at K Club.
It
It was a good fun weekend. It really was.
Yeah.
Just basically I had a load of questions. We're gonna
Okay.
fire them off, and we'll just bounce from there really. Just obviously tell the audience, tell everyone about yourself, like how you became the name Adam Saaks, like just how you're in this industry, etc.
Yeah. Okay. So the industry came because I used to rave in the 90s, and
my God.
fashion was a fucking trip back then because it was like what you're seeing now was elevated back then with the big oversized jive pants and the overalls and the fucking pacifiers and whistles and two hoops and the whole thing, right? And lollipops and all that stuff. But there was a European scene in San Francisco. This is a long version, dude. I can already tell. I'll break it down. So I linked up when I was 19 in underground raves in San Francisco. And I was from San Jose. So it was like I was kind of from what it would be considered a suburb. So San Francisco was like the big city. And it brought in like the European, like Euro trash beyond, like with the sickest DJs, this new sound. And I linked up with the coolest kids there. They were like Europeans that they look like aliens.
Like Woodstock kids?
How they dressed, I was like blown away. I didn't even know how to not describe, but interpret their style. How the hell did you fucking find that shirt, that outfit, the whole look, your whole vibe, right? Your facial hair, everything. And so I got really inspired, and one of the guys took me under his wing and showed me how to like secondhand shop. And so this was before vintage was trendy, and it became a thing. But so he showed me how to go vintage shopping, and I was doing a lot of things back then, taking a lot of things. It would keep me up for a long time, you know. It was a crazy time, like the 60s. And I would just dress in the mirror and just try stuff on myself and go party. Didn't see the sun for 2 years. I was underground for 2 years. I literally didn't see the sunlight.
Sounds a bit like Liam though.
Yeah, you guys are the total revival right now, that's for sure.
So you're already designing your own clothes, like going to
No, at this
events.
point, I was just dressing myself, and people were teasing me. My friends were like, dude, do I look good enough to be seen with you? And that kind of thing. And then eventually, like not long after that, they were like, do I look good to be seen with you, or should I wear this? And I was like, bing, shut up. Give me 5 minutes alone. Don't say anything for 5 minutes. Show me your closet. And I dress them. And I had my whole crew dressed up.
And Adam Saaks was born.
Basically, yeah. But it was like more like in the mirror. It was like a one-on-one thing. But I just kind of cloned everybody, right? And I was out one night, not long after that. Oh, no. And I got coffee one day. And this girl's like, oh, my God, I haven't seen you in a year. I was just talking about you yesterday. There's a guy that needs help. He's a financial broker. And I gave him your number, like out of the blue. And it was for stuff like personal shopper.
Okay.
So I got my first gig as personal shopper. And I was like started it from nothing. And this crazy thing is I used to have this book called Do What You Love and the Money Will Follow. Someone gave it to me. It was on my coffee table for like months, and I just walked by it. I just looked at the cover. I fucking knew what it was. I knew what I loved to do. I loved like clothes, right? So I was like, this is crazy. Now the money's following.
Yeah, that's we were literally saying this on the last podcast. Like,
Yeah.
follow your
I wrote a
passion,
book
don't
about
follow
it.
the money.
I wrote a book
100%.
about love called Love at First Cover. We'll fast forward to that later.
But like, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
How did you know how much to charge that person?
That's the next thing that was coming out of my mouth. Exactly. I was like a little kid, like this, like laying down on the ground with my feet doing this, with a notepad, a spiral notepad paper and a pen, going, is it hourly? Is it this? Is it daily? Is it that? And I never assisted, so I didn't have any template to go by. So I just did like $400 a day, which was pretty big money in 91 or 90.
I mean, back then, yeah, that's solid.
Yeah, but it was only like for a session, right?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
and plus I get to spend his money and go shopping. I went in and threw away everything you had, dude. This guy was like,
Yeah.
he had 2 pairs of shoes left and like a T-shirt, and he was like tripping. But anyway, so I did that. So I was a personal shopper. I was a personal shopper, but I was also a waiter. It's the only job I ever had. Was actually, I wasn't a waiter. I was a runner. It was a 5-star restaurant. Paid really well. San Francisco is like a foodie town. So it was kind of like posh to be working there, but people would ask all the time, what do you do? I said, I work at Aqua and I'm a personal shopper. But then I was like, what the fuck am I doing? So I started to flip it, and I said, I'm a personal shopper, and I work at Aqua.
Wait, what's a personal shopper?
Where I would go, like, you need help dressing, like, to...
I don't. Maybe I'm dumb.
I don't know what personal shopping is?
Canadian.
Wow, dude. You could probably do personal. You take someone shopping and show them how to
Oh,
how to
you
dress.
just go this, that's
yeah.
you.
Yeah,
They'll
you
know
fill out their
what's in
wardrobe, you
trend,
edit their
they'll know what would look
wardrobe,
good
you
on
give
you.
them,
Okay,
get them
okay,
outfits,
okay.
yeah. And so I was out one night, and this beautiful, beautiful girl looks me up and down. What do you do? Because I was all done up in my vintage shit. And I said, well, I'm a personal shopper. What do you do? She's like, I'm a model agent. Would you like to do models? And I said, if it has to do with clothes, let's go. She said, come in on Monday. And then I became a wardrobe stylist, fashion stylist for 11 years. And I had like 3 agents. I fucking crushed it, and I loved it. It was a lot of flipping work, but after 11 years, I got really tired of the jobs were the same. It was like no more challenging anymore.
Yeah.
And then the .com crashed in 2001, excuse me, in 2001.
Yeah.
And I was fucking broke, living on $5 burritos like we all were. I mean, there was guys worth $100 million on the street the next day. It was a bubble that bursted like no other, which is probably going to happen any minute now, too, with this crypto stuff. You never know.
Just about to say.
I lived through one of them. 2 of them, actually. .com and then the real estate bubble. And the crypto is like the next one. Maybe, I don't know what it is, but we're coming. I feel it.
It's coming.
It's the same signs as
Yeah.
how it was. Like everyone's like starting to struggle, and then all of a sudden,
Elliot can relate to that, can't you?
Yeah, don't talk to me about crypto.
sorry, bro. Yeah. And I was just eating one of my burritos. It was like a $5 burrito for like breakfast, and then the other half for like dinner. And that's what I was living on for like 4 months in San Francisco. And I bumped into a buddy, and he had a T-shirt brand, and he's like, dude, if I have this new T-shirt company, it's a logo-driven T-shirt company. Why don't you do some of your designs, because you're pretty creative, and we'll take it to the trade show in Las Vegas, and we'll get 10% of sales. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to be a designer, but I have nothing else to do, and why not? I said, fuck it, in my head. So I went. I went home. I cut up a bunch of T-shirts because the 80s were coming back literally for the first time in fashion history. It was like this. It was just everyone was like cut up stuff. And
Yeah, that's
So
what
I-
I was going to ask. Is that when the scissors
this
started
is
coming
this
out?
is it. This is the story right here. This is it. This is how it happened from the like eating a burrito one day.
How would you like describe your style, like in like
Wow, Metallica riffs.
the
Metallica
cuts
Metallica
and like,
riffs. Yeah.
riffs?
You know the riffs. You know how good the riffs are, right?
Well, I wear like Metallica shirts where like they're all ripped up and stuff.
No.
Is that-
The
No? Oh, okay.
music has riffs. They're like the
like
sick-
guitar-
like
okay,
Sabbath
yeah, yeah.
riffs. Like Metallica riffs are a little bit more stylish and slick than Sabbath, right?
Okay.
But they're like tricky,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so all the shapes and the patterns that I'm doing are like have to be that good,
Yeah.
and that's what they are. When I'm looking at my like Instagram page, for instance, I'm looking at like songs that I've written.
That's how you see it. It's just
Yeah,
like, yeah.
they're wicked riffs. Like you can't fuck with these riffs.
That's sick.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Metallica probably has the same catalog. When they look at their shit, they're like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
yeah. So it's not like festival outfits. It's not anything like.
Have you ever
a lot
done
of
stuff like that though?
festivals?
Yeah.
I do it. I mean, people wear it wherever they wear it.
Yeah.
Have I cut at festivals?
Just like custom stuff.
Dude,
where
yeah,
people
yeah.
hit-
Burning Man like gets busy, and Coachella gets really
I was
busy.
gonna say I feel like
So
Burning Man and like
Burning Man,
Coachella, all
'cause
those,
I'm in
all
LA.
those events.
Yeah, they come out of the woodworks too.
Yeah.
They're like, it's just they get a whim. They're like, I need an Adam Saaks piece. I'm like, hey, what's up? I haven't talked to you in a long time.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So I show up the next day to the studio, back to Jeff, right? And I with all this cut up shit, he's like, dude, these are really intense. They were just slashed and scooped and capped and cropped, and it's like, all right, let's go. So we went to Vegas. About a week later, I'm in Vegas, and we're giving away got my 10 pieces on my rack, and we're at this cool booth, and we got our little shirts on. And girls are walking by, other models, and we're like, here's a T-shirt, here's a T-shirt. And they're like, cool, thank you. And we're just giving swag away and promotional T-shirts. And one girl was like, this is a cool shirt, thank you, but can you cut it like the one hanging on the rack? And I'm like, yeah. So I was searching around, toolbox, found some scissors. I lay the shirt down, I crack it in half, I start cutting the sides. And I look up, and it's like kind of fucking felt like muffled and warm. And I look up, and there was a fucking wall of people watching me.
It's an audience.
Yeah, instantly. And I didn't even I was just prepping the thing. So I was like, okay. So I go out in front of the booth in the big walkway where there's every buyer and brand owner and retailer. And I'm in the middle of this walkway. There he is.
Yes, man.
Yo.
And I put the shirt on, I tie up the sides, and as I just tied the sides up, and they applauded. And that's when me and the model freaked out. We're like, oh shit, what's going on? I'm like, all right, just breathe. And what I did, I knew what I was doing, that I had to barrel through this and make it a show. So I just opened my legs and leaned forward like James Hetfield on Metallica. You know how it looks like he's moving and he's not?
Yeah.
It's like he's in the wind, you know?
Yeah.
So that's my stance that I got from him. Right there, just open my legs, just crotch down, lean forward, like I'm about to run, you know? And that's it. And I just assumed the position in a sense. And I finished that shirt, and everyone was like roaring applause. And I looked over to my buddy Jeff, and I'm like, "Dude, this is it." He said, "I could see," and I got a tap on the shoulder, and it was 2 more girls, and they're like, "Can we get one?" And I was like, "Yeah." So fucking line formed at this trade show, and I did 189 shirts in 4 days. It was a fucking machine.
That's a lot of cutting.
That's heavy.
I picked up a lot of techniques and everything. And then one guy was bugging me, and I kept going. I said, "Jeff, get your guy. He keeps putting his hand in my fucking way, and he's being annoying." He's like, sorry, man. So the guy comes back. He's like, "Yeah, Jeff told me I upset you the other day. This is on the last day." And he said, "Here's my card. If you're ever in L.A., look me up." And it said, Mike Cassell, Von Dutch, owner. Yeah. So
that was the big break.
Well, no, it was a lot of things that were breaks, but then we come home from this trade show, and fucking 7 days later, it's 9/11.
Oh shit.
Oh
Yeah,
shit is
it's
right,
real.
dude. And our fucking logo was a Swami with a turban on that said, "You will do as I say." That was the fucking campaign.
Fuck.
That was our logo.
Timing?
Yeah, dude.
Holy fuck.
So that guy fucking shut down. And so, but I kept cutting. I was cutting any shirt, man.
Are you still doing public stuff?
All the time.
All
I
the
love
time,
it. So
yeah.
that's my center, dude.
That's your
it's
thing?
funny because that moment is what I just recreate. That feeling. I wrote a book about that moment. I've chased that moment.
He was doing it at Savaya yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're.
Yeah, so
cutting
I
up?
did Savaya. I was
That's
just
one
like
of the
leaders of the
components.
industry.
How many did you do last night?
Too many, bro. you don't even know.
Fuck,
I
what shows
had a
were-
whole cast. I could have done a fucking dope runway show. I could have done I used a lot. I had maybe 8 models, 10 models.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of them.
Fully done up. A
That's
couple of them are here. There's 2 beauties here. We have an audience. You guys may not see I think you guys might see the audience. Ooh. But you will soon.
Yeah, so I was gonna ask
Yeah. So here's the Von Dutch thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
that's
fucking,
right.
I'm like, dude, it's fucking, I'm like, September 13th, pack my shit up. My friends are like, come to LA, it's popping, bro. So I go to LA and I have 5 portfolios. I'm like, I'm gonna get an agent here. They're like, yeah, calling the agencies trying to get a job. And they're like, yeah, and we're not taking anyone on until we're in war right now, until the end of the year. So I was like, fuck. I'm like, oh, there's this business card. It says, I'll call him. And this is fucking beep, doot, 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 fucking home phone, cordless home phone, you know? We had cell phones, but I call Mike. I said, Mike, it's Adam. I'm in LA. Dude, we've been waiting for you. Fucking amazing. Can you come down? Yeah, I came down. He gave me some jeans that day. I took them home and worked the jeans. My fucking hands were sore. I come back. He pulls the whole office and the design team up into the fucking cutting room. And they're like looking at these one pair of jeans that I did. I was like, they were taking it very seriously. And they were going to put them into reproduction because they had a bunch of dead stock. And I was like, fuck, this is not what I came here for. So I pull Mike aside. I'm like, yo, dude, in his ear, I'm like, I just want to cut shirts, bro. He's like, you want to cut shirts? Great. Fucking everyone go back to your desks. Go back to work. Everybody, let me take you downstairs. So he takes me downstairs. Boom, to the store, flagship store. It's a wall of fucking Von Dutch shirts. He said, these are all yours. I'll give you for $5. You charge whatever you want. I'll make you a cutting station in the entrance of the store. So I had this dope fucking craftsman's, like a auto craftsman tool thing, for garages.
Kind of. I can
Craftsman
picture it.
is like if you're wrenching on cars, you got your tool thing. It's red.
Oh,
They're
okay,
red.
yeah.
So that was my cutting thing. It was like super rock and roll. And I was just giving away fucking shirt after shirt all day, and I kept getting like repeat customers. And I was starting to write down emails because emails were so new. This is 2001. I was making $20 a week for like 6 months, but I loved it, dude. And I was taking the shirts out and the hats out and going in like the hottest LA clubs, dropping the shirts in the middle of the dance floor and just fucking doing fucking like 3 hours of cutting.
What were the hottest clubs back then in LA?
In LA was
Because now it's like
dude,
poppy.
it was stunt. It was a standard. It was lounge.
Oh, I don't even know those clubs.
Yeah. People. Yeah, it's crazy. Joseph's. It was. Hyde didn't exist.
Was this still?
It was
This
Bolt
was the
Benson.
80s?
It was all Bolt House.
This was still the
It was-
80s?
No, it was 2001. It was all Bolt House.
Okay.
Bolt House ran everything, and then Hartwell too.
Okay.
Bolt House now owns Bungalow at the
Okay,
Fairmont.
yeah.
Were you
Yeah.
like offering to cut people's clothes that they were wearing at the time as well, or was it
No, I would have Von Dutch. I was a good. I was like a guerrilla promoter. People didn't know what Von Dutch was at all. And I'd invite celebrities in and famous people and rock stars and shit that I'd be partying with in the middle of the night, bring their families in the next day. And at 6 months, they would come in and get them shit and take the photo, and they would go. And we started building a clientele. And then Michael and Tony, his partner, would take me upstairs and say, dude, you single-handedly created a market we never had, young, hot girls in Hollywood. And the jeans don't fit them. So we want to give you profit sharing in the flagship store, become our partner, and we're going to invest money in a jean designer to cater to your market. I said, cool. Mike says, you ever heard of Christian Audigier? And so we hired Christian Audigier, and Audigier just continued to do what we did. He was really good at distribution. And so I was just like, that's it, man. The Von Dutch beat up fucking denim hat, that's me. The fucking, with the fucking Dremel drill, dude. With the sandpaper bit. At home, like, or not at home, probably at the store. I was fucking tweaking shit out all the time. Then like weathering it and cutting it, thrashing it.
How many hours does that usually take you? Like just
The hat would take me
like one
30
piece?
seconds.
30 seconds to do one
I hit it
piece?
with the electric drill that's got a
Oh.
sandpaper bit. So I just go zzz, 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 all in the places that you touch, and then you put it down. So I just thought through it. And
And
then
you're
you
done.
give it to fucking China, and
Yeah.
they do sampling, and then we get them for $5 and sell them for $250. Like
Solid margin.
Thousands of units, of thousands. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, so I left Von Dutch. Christian leaves Von Dutch. He starts Ed Hardy. I do that Hardy run. And Ed Hardy was like viral. It was a viral situation. It took me around the world because we were opening up stores and we had distribution everywhere, and they own the license. So these licenses, I had fucking this. I was just dealing with the licensees and distributors, and it took me around the world more than the Rolling Stones. And I built my market. I knew what I was doing, and I didn't like Ed Hardy. I didn't like the tattoos. I didn't like Ed Hardy the man. I didn't like the artwork. I didn't like the rhinestones. I don't like skulls on my clothes. I was super like just. It was so graphic. I just want a blank piece.
Very plain.
But I just ran. I just did my time there, and worked with every celebrity under the sun, man. At the time, they're all 50 now. It's crazy.
All the
I had a
rock
brand.
stars,
I had a brand with religion, and Gary, my partner, he's like, dude, so many celebrities. Let's get to celebrities. So we go to LA, and I give him the list, and he's like, dude, these are all people in their 50s. It was like J Lo and Eva Longoria and Mariah and Heidi. They're fucking like, I was like, what? That is so true. I didn't even think of that. So, yeah. Sorry, that's the cutting thing. You can chop that up however you want. That's the story.
Yeah, I was actually just going to say, so how did you land up here then?
So,
What
yeah.
religion
Pop in the microphone.
And
You gonna jump in, Ben?
How long have you been in Bali for?
I've been here at this, dude, probably today, literally today will be 3 years.
3 years, 'cause you
Yeah,
said 2.
almost today.
Yeah, it's similar to us. Then,
Yeah. It's funny because how we met is crazy.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, what is the story there?
So I have my birthday 2 years
I'll
ago.
let him tell us funny
Yeah,
story.
it's funny shit. So I had my birthday 2 years ago, and it was like a major fucking just a good time. It was like went on. It just went off so well, right? Everybody went out afterwards. It ended like 9 or 8 or 9 or something, and we kind of split up, and then we didn't like the play. Anyways, we end up at a villa.
It was our first.
And I was like,
LOV
who
party.
the fuck are all of these people? We've never seen. It was like 1,000 people. It was like hundreds of people. I don't know, 500 people, 1,000 people in this big villa. And I'm like, who and where? And I like, where did these people come from? And who is doing this party? Because the people I was with, my guests, my birthday, and my friends know everybody. And none of us knew anybody.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Taylor.
Yeah.
Taylor, right?
Yeah.
Were you dating Taylor?
No.
Okay, someone was dating her.
Wow.
No, you weren't. That's correct. You weren't. Wait, he
Ben,
laughs.
Ben's
Were you?
like,
Am I scratching?
No, there was a situation.
Anyway, so yeah, man. So it's like, and I'm like, who's Elliot? Like, who's this Elliot guy throwing this party?
Yeah.
And it was a completely like subculture genre of scene.
Yeah.
And it must have been the first one.
Yeah,
It
that was
it
our
came out of
first ever.
fucking nowhere.
I mean, we were throwing villa parties before that, but that was the first one
You've
with like.
done it before, dude,
Yeah.
because this was like set up, and you had table service, you had VIP service, you had VIP areas everywhere, you had pools, people were swimming, you had Jazz Remo was spinning,
Yeah.
and people were just respecting you like crazy. And you lived in this fat villa. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? It was like 12-room villa. You know, and so we disperse. We go out, and I end up at a friend's house. I fall asleep there because I'm fried. And I wake up, and I'm like, I'm on my scooter. Fuck. Oh, it's at the place. Where's the place? Okay, I remember. So I take a Gojek, and I go, and he's walking out. It's like, I don't know, 10, 12 at night. It's 2 days later, maybe?
Yeah, 2 days later.
Yeah, 2 days later, I'm picking up my scooter, and it's him, and I met him like face to face. I was like, "Nice job, dude." And he's like, "Yeah, okay. Get the fuck out of here.
Probably still hungover.
Get your fucking bike out of here." Yeah, it was like that. I was like, "Okay."
was this a LOV Show event?
Yeah, it's our first LOV party.
Are you
yeah.
serious,
That was
dude?
our first-
That's
That's crazy
dude.
chance.
That was the
was
best
mad.
birthday I've ever had so far.
Because I remember that day because I invited a load of people and half the people kept saying, "Oh, I'm going to Adam Saaks' birthday." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Fuck, who's this
Who's
Adam
Adam
guy?"
Saaks?
Yeah, and then I started looking at all your stories.
Combined.
And then
stories
everyone
are-
just came over
Yeah,
afterwards. It
that's
was good.
great.
It
That was
worked out well.
a great night. That was the greatest.
I was gonna ask
Yeah.
you, have you ever been offered like a really good deal and declined, and you regretted it?
Probably. A lot of times I just don't feel right, or I don't like the
Yeah.
person offering it, or it doesn't seem I'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
I'm really about
In
like
your own
having
lane.
to enjoy it, especially
Yeah,
now
of
that I'm
course.
50. You know, like I'm not gonna fucking waste my time anymore.
Yeah.
I just don't want to. First half of my life, I really pushed and hustled.
Yeah.
And I made it all about me, and trying to grind, and become all the things that, and those things, especially after COVID, it's just all those things that were important to me before. After leaving LA, actually, and I moved to Thailand. Oh, I got the Bali. I moved to Thailand in 2016 and didn't look back to LA. Put my shit in storage and just moved to Thailand. And that right there kind of changed. That was my turning point, really, when I was like, I looked at life differently. It was like, fucking, if
Yeah.
a girl showed up with nail polish or something, you know, in Thailand, Samui, Koh Samui,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we're like, why are you fucking wearing nail polish? And that. we're not
Carry on.
in Thailand. So it's all good. Which is hence why one of the reasons why I moved to Bali. But I was like, the things that mattered in LA for 20 years living in Hollywood didn't matter at all
Of course.
where I lived, and I was like
Yeah.
really freed. It was so freeing.
That's one of the best things we love about Bali. It was insane.
And
Yeah.
So much.
But it was a little bit too much. So the thing is, so
Yeah.
anyways, I meet a girl on vacation. She's French. She lives in the south of France. Grew up there. So I moved to France. I'm in the south of France for 3 years. My fiance living in Cannes, and I did a collection there in Italy and everything, and it was another grind because I'm not enjoying it. I don't like production. I don't like waiting for the fucking shirt for 2 weeks, a blank T-shirt for 2 weeks that comes back wrong, you know. So anyways, I go back to Thailand in my third year of living in France, and for a job, I was doing like sober companioning for this really rich woman you babysit someone who's losing their shit, basically. They're losing their house, they're losing their kids. The law's probably got some like case that they're fighting, drunk driving or something. And they're pretty rich, and usually rich kids in LA have sober companions.
Yes.
Yeah, and there's no fucking like rule book. There's no guidebook to how to do it. And you just got to be there's no job description really.
How long were you living in? Because I lived in LA for a while, and like I know
2001, 2001.
2001.
Yeah.
Up until 2001.
2016, 17.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a long ass time in LA. Holy.
Dude, in West Hollywood, no fucking.
Yeah,
I
no,
didn't
no.
go outside.
I couldn't even spend like a year in West Hollywood. It was just like not the vibe.
The first
for
place
me.
I moved was next door to Cameron Diaz and
Oh,
Jared
shit,
Leto.
okay.
And you know what? She was something about Mary then. She was like the second $20 million a film actress at that time. Like, she was on the biggest star in the world, and she was my next door neighbor, and we lived right behind the Chateau Marmont. And
Okay,
the
yeah,
people
no,
that
it
I
is.
was living with
It's a good area.
grew up with
Yeah.
Jared. They grew up with Jared. They went to fucking high school with Jared Leto in Marin County. 'Cause we were all from the Bay Area, and they moved before me. They said, "Come down, fuck San Francisco,"
Okay,
after
yeah.
September.
This was actually a question I was going to
So
ask
I
about.
had access right when I got to LA.
Yeah.
It was
Oh,
fun. So I got
No, I was going
Yeah.
to ask that because I've also met a few other friends who lived in LA, and they all seem to have these like crazy celebrity connections.
It's where we live.
And that's what I was saying. Do you reckon it's more accessible to get those connections when you
It's
live
where
in LA?
we live, dude. It's where we go fill up our gas tanks and buy our groceries.
LA
and
is
go
a
to
small
dinner.
circle, man. If
Yeah.
you're there for a while, like
Especially if
super-
you work
like,
on like,
yeah.
I was in the video game a long time. I'm in a lot of videos. Because my really good friend at the time, really, really close friend, was the director, and he won 14 video awards one year. He changed the industry, MTV Video Awards.
Shit, okay.
He did it. It's everything. His name's Joe Kahn. And Joe would put me in every video. He'd call me up. Yo, I'm shooting Britney today. Come down. Can you cut? Yeah, I'll come. So I've been in like Britney video, Toxic, Dido video, White Flag, two Eminem videos with Rihanna, Megan Fox. And I just do cameos. Actually, Dido, I was actually her manager. But I didn't even change. I showed up with the fucking trucker hats were in back then. And I had a fucking beat up trucker hat. It's put me on set.
That's sweet.
Yeah, it's fun. It's in a fucking I had a lot of videos, some movies he did. So yeah, once you're on the set, dude, like I met David Boreanaz, who's Bones or Angel, he's an actor.
Yeah, okay.
Girls love him. And Brittany, and I've met a lot of people that because you work with them, you just see eye to eye with them from that point forward, because it's kind of a trust thing. Like you kind of working together, you just build a camaraderie in the industry. I could imagine if you like worked with like, if you're someone like Robert De Niro, the motherfucker knows everybody, Like there's fucking Rolodex must be just insane. So LA's the trip, dude.
Yeah.
But it's over.
Yeah,
It's-
we
it-
spoke
yeah.
about it, didn't we?
It's flipping
Hollywood's
over.
not the same now.
It's over.
TikTokers.
No one
and
cares about your awards.
Yeah,
It
every
is.
party,
Yeah,
every house you
TikTokers
go
were-
to, doing TikToks.
TikTokers
fucking-
run the world, man. They
Yeah.
run Hollywood.
It's fucking
It's
But
true.
I'm happy to say that because they're lovely kids, man.
Yeah.
They're so cool.
That's why we're
They're
doing
so
this
creative.
podcast.
Are we TikToking this?
No, we probably will.
Okay. Yeah, so they're making great money, and they're young. They're like just at the end of their teenage years, and they're like stylish and funky, and they sell socks and hoodies, and got half blue hair and shit, and they're fucking totally approachable.
Facts.
And we live in a different world. Hollywood's a different place. No one cares about actors anymore at all. No one cares who's starring in any movie. It used to matter. It's so weird. Dude.
What do you think about the fashion industry? Yeah, how do you think that's going now?
Fashion. When I was in LA last year, it's chaotic. It's like the '90s again, like Von Dutch, pretty much. They're just trying to redo Von Dutch and Ed Hardy, those two brands that I did right now. I mean, they're even bringing them back. The Von Dutch hats are back. Ed Hardy's even doing a brand called Persian or Ed Hardy Arabia as some kind of a kitsch kind of thing, but people are rocking it in the clubs, like promoters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of that. Low rise is coming back, you know, the 3-inch high rise, and the women's jeans.
All the old
It's
school
like
stuff's
2001.
coming back.
2001. It's just it, you know.
You see
Yeah.
yourself going back to LA?
Never.
Yeah, no.
No.
Right? It's not the same, right?
This is
You going
so,
back?
but I feel like I'm
Like-
in L. This is the LA. When I moved to LA and I stayed there so long, I loved it so much. I have that here now. It's like,
Yeah.
thank God I found Bali.
Yeah.
Because when I came to Thailand for that job, that sober companion job, my friends were like, "You need to come to Bali, dude. Your shit will do good." And I've heard it 100 times, and I'd be like, "Yeah, I'll go," and it was kind of an empty promise. But a couple days later, he calls me like, "Dude, I got a 2-week job in Bali," and I'm like, "Well, I guess we're going to Bali." So we come to Bali, land in Ubud, go to Umalas, all this shit. And I was like, "Yo, this place is like LA and Thailand combined. You can do some fucking damage here, you know."
What's like
creatively.
the workflow difference
Yeah,
from
I was
LA?
about to say
There's no distractions here for creatives.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
Like-
There's no distractions here for. That's when you don't want the headphones on, bro. I do more in one day in Bali than a week in LA. In LA, you can do 2 things in one day. You can go get your groceries and you can go to the bank, and your fucking day is shot. So try to do a project. Here, you know, we have such access and such amazing camaraderie and network of creatives. Do you agree? Or am I,
Yeah.
am
Oh
I
no,
alone on
I
this,
totally
guys? Do you
agree.
Yeah.
I can't. Just knew that I could do some damage here
Yeah.
with the shows and with fashion and. Dude, I was doing a $5.5 million pitch deck when I first got here, and the COVID happened. That changed.
You were here for COVID?
I was here before, during, and after.
Damn, I missed it.
It was so good. You know what we did?
COVID was so good.
This.
No traffic.
No traffic, and we hung, dude. We just hung out and enjoyed it. We
I was
just-
trapped in LA.
Oh, brutal, bro. Couldn't travel because my business model is travel and perform live, kind of
Okay.
like a DJ, you know.
Yeah.
I decided to fucking book myself and make my own stage.
Fair.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that's what
yeah.
I did during
Yeah.
COVID. I started doing events so I could put myself on my own stage instead of having to travel. I just did it at home.
Yeah, I think the coup d'etat one was super lit. That was
Coup
like,
d'etat was the movie that
birthday
from the
as well.
show from on the day I met you. I made
Yeah.
a movie from that day, and I
Yeah.
did a screening and a charity. They were all good. It was fun, man. It was like popcorn, branded popcorn, and
yeah.
bean bags.
You were in a movie?
They made like an after movie for his
you would've been
birthday.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then obviously did the big charity. It was really
Yeah, I did a
nice as
charity,
well.
yeah, and I made a piece of art with the kids. It's
Yeah.
awesome, dude. And then I had this fucking train rolling, bro. And then I did the show at Pretty Poison, which I probably shouldn't talk about right now.
Yeah, probably not.
I missed that place. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
anyway,
skip
so I
past
did
that.
another one and it got too big and I had to like stop because it was a
Okay.
little bit pushing the limit too
Yeah,
much.
That's kind of what we did happen to us as well.
Did you?
When we had a massive party and we got shut down and
Yeah,
we were
then
like,
then
yeah, that's us for a
what's the
while.
name? Lavi also got shut
Yeah.
down. The night, like after his show, he did a fashion show. And when he's coming out to say thank you for coming,
Yeah.
yo, immigration comes.
Yeah,
Just
thanks.
floods it.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain basically what we're doing today then with the
Yeah.
contestants and stuff?
Is that it? That wasn't a very interesting fucking podcast, was it?
No, it was interesting hearing your story.
Yeah,
to
I
be
think it
honest.
was cool, yeah.
That was still good. I just
Who wants a
thought-
drink?
yeah.
Should we get?
I
some,
say
should
we
do
talk
drinks?
about the sponsor and take
Yeah.
a shot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you guys
yeah,
want a
so,
shot?
this is
Let me
Bos-
pour you a shot because I don't drink,
Yeah.
and you're
I
still
don't.
not drinking.
I'll take whoever's shot is not drinking.
Deal.
Yeah.
All right, all right. Does someone want to pour?
Shout out to our
Hey.
sponsor, Boss Bottle, 24 hours delivery.
Come on in.
Free
Boss
delivery
Bottle,
whenever.
thank you.
Boss Bottle, thank you very much again. Check the link in the description
Yo,
for
we
the website.
definitely need this one right here.
That's the one I opened.
Yeah, that's it.
Is this the one you opened?
It's nice, to be fair.
I like it better.
You don't drink either? No. Oh, okay. Respect.
Teetotal.
Respect.
That's good.
I wasn't going to drink, but it's on the table now.
You can't say no.
Elliot, what does Elliot
I
not
could
drink?
never
Come
say
on.
no to a drink, can I?
Watch.
I'll have one.
Alright, so I'm taking
want a shot?
Liam's.
No?
Enjoy.
Anyone want a shot? Want to come over and have a
You
shot?
used to drink?
I used to.
Tequila, anyone? No?
I was
I
sober
was
10
the-
years.
I
What
was
was your
the,
sober point?
10 years ago.
10 years ago?
Yeah.
I was the same
Is
as
there a
you.
reason, or was just like, you know what? Because I know being in
when to
LA
say
is
no.
just like.
I don't know when to say. I don't have an off button. Bro.
I was the same as you, you know, raving. Obviously, I was the same from 14 till 24.
Oh, you don't want to be
Yeah.
a camera.
Berlin, Amsterdam, everywhere.
Especially
one?
living in LA. Yo, it's hard.
Yeah, come and sit down here. You say hi. Nah. Yeah, why not too? All right.
Yeah, just do you think? What
Cheers, anyway.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers,
Ching
guys.
ching,
Yeah,
ching
cheers,
ching.
yeah, man.
Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, of course,
I'm gonna,
100%.
so we're not done yet, guys. Out there, podcast people.
That's good.
We have. I came up with an idea to.
Anybody else want one? Or am I doing it?
You did.
You
You
can do
got
another one.
there. It is.
You love it.
Yeah, bravo. So we're having a cutoff contest. I can't. I'm like drawing a blank right now. Yeah, no. We have 2 models. What am I talking? We have 2 models, right?
Yep, 2 models.
2 models and 2 cutters. And the cutters, Oliver and Olya, DM'd to enter. And there was a bunch of DMs, and I liked their 2 vibes the most. And they turned out to be great.
Sweet.
So we got 2 models here, and they're gonna cut on. They're gonna use my scissors. I'm gonna show them a couple
legendary scissors.
techniques on how to do it. I'm gonna show them the 1, 2, 3. The one thing that I learned that goes it took me in every path. You know, like I can design with that's the key. You know, to unlock the door. And so I'm sure. Have you guys been doing did you do video research? I know Oliver said he did. Did you do video?
I was gonna say, have
Yeah,
they done
they
it
went at
before,
the
or is this their first time?
Oh yeah, they're studying the shit. They went home.
Did the
They're
homework.
taking it seriously. I can tell.
Is this your guys' first time cutting? Yeah. Yeah? Okay, so it's gonna be interesting.
And are you going to show us one yourself as well?
No,
No?
no. You can just
Okay.
roll some videos. There's plenty.
There's one to
We'll
give
throw
away.
it
Yeah.
a clip. We'll throw a clip then.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I brought one to do, but just in case. I don't see. Let's see. I'd rather just focus on our contestants.
Sounds good, guys. So obviously, yeah, we'll be playing that video after the podcast.
Which one?
Yeah, this can.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
gonna move. We're gonna move into the studios.
Yep,
yeah.
Yeah, it was one thing I was going to ask just quickly before we finish the podcast.
Yep.
So obviously, I guess for anyone who's listening right now, whoever is into fashion or they've been following you on, is there any tips or advice you give someone who's coming into this sort of industry to like?
I
for
can.
them?
Well,
Or even just
whatever,
growing in general.
whatever.
Yeah.
Thank you. Whatever industry you want to do,
Yeah.
just do it. Whatever you do it for, because you love it, and not because you like it, and not
Facts.
because you fucking. I don't know. You just have to love it. It's got to be that one thing above all. That's what I think.
It's gotta be like a passion thing before.
As long as it's not a
Yeah.
fear-based consciousness, like
Yep.
a cop or a serial killer, because you could love being a serial killer, but the love stops there, and it becomes
Yeah.
fear-based after that. And I wrote a book called Love at First Cut, and people thought it was a book to learn how to cut, and I intended it to be, but the story was so cool, I kept going with it, and I realized this book was about me following my love. My whole career was about following this feeling I got the first time I did it, and that's how the Von Dutch and Ed Hardy and all the great experiences that I had in doing cutting all over the world is this. I keep it simple. I just do it
I
the
love
same
that.
way. So in this book, I wrote all the ups and downs, in my story. It's pretty cool. I didn't know it was like that. I didn't even know how I learned how, but when I did the backstory and everything, I was like, oh shit, that's how I can fucking see it. It's from drawing and being the stylist for so many years. But I say if you want to just, even if it's as simple as sharpening Crayola crayons,
just become really fucking good at it,
you
passionately.
just love it. Yeah. You
Yeah.
can be like, fucking all these different ways to do it. It could be something that simple. You'll literally be the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you put
Crayon.
100% into something, I'm a strong believer that
there's no fucking
it'll just-
percentage, bro.
it'll
It's the
just-
thing. It's like there's time doesn't exist, percent doesn't exist. You're there. You're just there. I've been doing this 22 years, dude.
would you say you put your all into it?
I just go by the feeling. So I'm just there when put my all into it. Like,
Yeah, like
Dude,
was it like that
either
was your only focus?
put it this way. I wish. No, I don't say it like that. I've never had anybody to follow.
Can you elaborate
Not-
on that?
There's never
like-
been a T-shirt
role model.
cutter.
Oh, a
There's
role
people-
model. Okay. I
Not
got
a
you.
role model, but I'm saying like, okay. David Bowie said it best. He said, "You never want to be the first at anything." I was like, "Oh fuck." Okay, because I'm still educating people on how to book me, how to place me, how to promote me, how to market me. You know, you got Bieber. He's like a quadruple threat. He can sing, he can dance, he can
Yeah.
act, he can write.
He could do it all.
Basically, yeah. And he's talented. And he stepped in an industry that exists. There was a market for him. There was a platform for him. There was an industry there built in. I'm a single threat, I guess you'd say, whatever, right? Like I'm good at one thing.
Yeah.
I have my passion, but there's no market for it. I had to build the market myself. I created my own slice of the fashion pie, bro.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's nothing more I can do. So I tried to like open the pie shape more, the piece of pie more by doing collabs, but it doesn't expand. I'm actually not selling out. I'm going off center. The next step I want to do is fill arenas with live cutting production.
That's sweet.
That's it. That's it. Like, and I exercise those talents here and abilities in pre-production and production and post-production and the production itself, all of it, and the promotion and the marketing. I really enjoy doing all that when it's my logo. I love my logo. I'm in love with my logo. Like
That's awesome.
I'm married to my logo. That's why I don't have a girlfriend. Like it's I'm consumed. It's an expensive logo. It's like does all the things and I enjoy it. It doesn't, I fucking love my logo. I love putting it on things, creative ways to use it. It has to feel right. It's not just like the tackiness. It's like really methodical and strategic ways to use it. And the icon itself is my initials. This kid made this logo for me about 5-6 years ago. And yeah, man, it's cool. And then it's
Would you say like you've like basically lived and breathed like everything you do?
Have I what?
Like live and breathe like everything you do. Like would you say like your life's literally been like surrounded by just like your passion?
Well, if you only knew, really. It's like now that question just gave me a huge wave of my life, And I thank God for Instagram and photos and your iPhoto library because I can have no memory. And if I go through some of my albums, my Facebook albums, the older ones, I'm like, fuck, man, I've had such a life. Such a life.
I get that.
So I have to take a fucking chill pill and just be grateful, and like be that's, I have that I want more thing. Hey guys, how you doing? It's Adam Saaks. We just finished the LOV Show podcast, and we're about to do the cutoff. We got our models here, Ollie and Olia, our cutter contestants, Oliver, Julia. Okay, so we got Ollie. Ollie is one of the models, and I'm going to show Oliver and Julia. So come on here, guys. I'm going to show you. Now, you have been granted the Adam Saaks scissors. There you go. Pick your weapon, pull it out of the sheath. There you go. I hold like this. You hold comfortable. If you're right, are you all both right-handed?
Yes.
Are you right-handed? Mm-hmm. Oh my God, this is. She had it in her left hand. The strips are important because you want them about this wide. Because when you pull it, you see this? Not thicker, not thinner. I gradually make them thinner. This, see, it pulls and it becomes a string, yeah? If it's too thick, it looks like that. Let me twist it first. I gotta do the twist. Oh, these are not mine. Habit. I take this one, and then I take the under one, and then there's a hole. And I go like this, and I can be able to do it with one hand, but basically, or I feed it upwards, okay? And when you cut, you don't want to cut too tight because when you wash it, the tips shrink. So you get a little bit of room for shrinkage, boom. Now we got everybody in position. The class is over and we're ready to get cutting. You guys ready? You ready? Yeah. All right, here we go. And we're off. All right, 30 seconds, guys. Let's take a look at these designs. So let me see. Okay, great. It looks really good. What were you thinking when you were doing it?
I thought it was kind of piano.
How you started it? Yeah. What did you? Yeah.
It
Okay.
should to be here
Okay, so
symmetric.
Yeah. Yeah. It's,
And I continue like this.
yeah. Yeah. Very good. Nice job. Nice job. Really good. Okay. Tell me what's going on here.
I was focusing on getting a little V,
Yep.
but then at the end, what I was gonna do was actually gonna make like a little, like a bridge, like kind of a zebra.
Okay. You did great, dude. This looks great. Now I would just pull on this and clean the line up. I would go up here. We could do this, do that. You know, like you can do, you know, keep working with it. Go back down. You turn it into something. I'm gonna do an audience participation. It's a scream. All right. So Julia's design, and then Oliver's design. Oh, we have a winner. Pretty wonderful, both of you guys. Really good, really, really good. Thanks so much for coming. And the models, our lovely models. Let's give it up for the models. Yeah.